Hi guys. So we've done a little bit of work on what the specific notes are as far as where they are on the treble clef, what to call them as far as do, re, mi, or A, B, C. We've also talked about how long certain notes take, how many beats they each get, and how those beats are organized with meter signatures. Now we're going to talk about an element of expression in music. So we've talked about how high or low the note is to be performed and for how long. Now we're going to talk about how loud that note is supposed to be. So as you've been going through your sheet music, you may have noticed that sometimes in the tracks that I send you, I sing louder or softer. And I'm going to introduce you to some of the symbols that I use to tell me whether I'm supposed to sing loudly or softly. So on your screen here, you're going to see a little chart that I drew on the board for the in-building students talking about something called dynamics. Now, dynamics is a catch-all term for symbols that tell us how loudly or softly to perform whatever music we are performing. So here in the middle is the abbreviation or the symbol. So these are the things that you're going to see in your music. And before we go, I'm going to show you an example in some written music so you know what they really look like. To the left, I have the term, which means the Italian word that symbol corresponds with. And then to the right here, you can see where I've got the meaning in English. So you have the symbol, what it means in Italian, and then what it's actually telling you to do. So we're going to go down this list of dynamics and talk about what each of these symbols mean in Italian and in English. So we're going to start with the letter P. When you see the letter P floating somewhere other than the lyrics in whatever song you're singing, that's short for the Italian word piano. Now, you might already know a definition of the Italian word piano that isn't this. We're going to talk about that in just a second. And what it means is soft. So when you see the letter P floating above your music, it's telling you to perform that part of the music quietly. Next, we have MP. The letter M stands for the Italian word mezzo, which means medium. So when you combine it with the letter P, it means mezzo piano or medium soft. So mezzo piano is not as soft as piano. So this is saying just kind of soft. Next, you have MF. You've already learned what the M is. It's mezzo. F stands for forte, which means loud. So when you put the two together, you get medium loud. And of course, that tells you what the next one is. That F by itself means forte, which just means loud. Now, going back to the other definition of piano, you probably know a piano as an instrument. Every now and then you'll see me play one. A very obnoxious car just drove past my house. Every now and then you'll see me play that instrument in some of these videos. It used to be called a pianoforte because it could play both loud and soft. But people are lazy and they started shortening the name to just piano, which is why it's called piano today. Now, you might not want to just be loud or just be soft. Maybe you want to be very, very loud or very, very soft. You just add F's or P's as the case may be. I'm a rapper. So when you see two F's together, we call that fortissimo, and that means stupid loud. Similarly, when you see two P's, that means pianissimo, and that means stupid soft. Very, very quiet. Now, the last two symbols have to do with changing your dynamics, meaning how loudly or softly you sing, over time. So if you're holding out a note, such as in The Clouds, one of the sixth grade songs, there's a couple of verses that are like, happiness and peace. If you want to increase your volume as you're holding a note or as you're singing a phrase, you would use this symbol, this thing that sort of looks like the less than sign in math. That's called a crescendo, and it means to gradually get louder. And as you can probably guess, this is the opposite of that, where you start loud and get softer. That's called a decrescendo, gradually get softer. You could think of these as increase and decrease because those share Latin roots with those two English words. So for your assignment this week, you're going to find those symbols in your music. But before you do that, I'm going to show you some of those symbols in your prior music so that you know what you're looking for. So now on your screen, you're seeing the sheet music to Sleigh Ride that no matter what grade you're in, you sang for the winter album because we all did this together. Now, as you will recall, Sleigh Ride starts with the piano. You don't actually start singing at the very beginning. But here in the piano part, you can already see some dynamics. Right here, there's a forte. Now, you might be looking at these little guys right here over the first couple of notes and saying, oh, aren't those decrescendo things? No, they're not. They're too small. Do you see how they are the same width as the head of those notes? That makes them a different kind of symbol that you're going to learn at another time. But this right here, that is a forte, and it's telling the piano player to start loud. We're going to scroll down. Now here you can see written in, rather than using the symbol, just written in words, decrescendo. So it's telling the piano to quiet down, to gradually get softer. And then when the singers enter, they have a mezzo forte on their first note. So that's telling the singers to start out medium loud. Okay, now I have jumped ahead to the middle of Sleigh Ride, and you can see this section, you start mezzo piano, which means medium soft, and then you have a marked crescendo on the word birthday. So you're supposed to start medium soft and then gradually get louder as you sing the lyrics. There's a birthday party at the home of Farmer Gray, and you can tell it's supposed to be its loudest on farm because it's given you a target in the form of this mezzo forte right here. And then you see the decrescendo symbol right here. So those are some examples of how those symbols look actually written into your music. And for your assignment this week, you're going to go looking through both of your pieces for the spring and find some of these symbols and demonstrate that you know what they mean to do.